Joy does not simply happen to us. We have to choose joy and keep choosing it every day. That's a quote from Henry Nouwen, who is a Catholic priest and also a spiritual philosopher. We have to choose joy and keep choosing it every day. You know, when we hear truth, we feel it deep within us, don't you? When you hear truth, you feel it deep down in our DNA. We never forget it. Once you hear truth, you never forget it. We know it from that moment forward. You can kind of judge it sometimes. There was a before and an after. Before I knew the truth, and then after I knew the truth. And that's a big day when you have that kind of truth. So when we hear truth, we know it. The truth I want you to hear today, the truth I want you to know for yourself today, is that joy is a choice. And joy comes from the choosing. Let joy be your choice every day. And like Elaine sang to us, you can't find joy without gratitude. You can't find joy without love. You got to have the gratitude and you got to have the love. And then joy can be your choice. So it is that third week of Advent, and today is that pink candle. Pink candle of joy. Joy is a strong feeling of happiness, a manifestation of happiness through an outward rejoicing of excitement. That rejoicing of excitement comes from gratitude and comes from love. Joy is the immersion into that space that is pure love and pure happiness. So come on now, let's go ahead and jump in the deep end. You know, when I was in high school, I was a swimmer. So you got the big Olympic-sized pool, and you've got the deep end, and you've got the shallow end. So let's dive into joy. Let's jump in that deep end. You know, in that shallow end of the pool, you can ease yourself in, and then you're just hip deep. Well, now for some of you, it's probably waist deep. Yeah, you're hip deep or you're waist deep, and you get in a little at a time, and then you just keep walking down towards that end, and the water just slowly rises. But no, let's feel that joy. When you get in the deep end, you can't do it by half measure. You got to immerse yourself. You dive in or you jump in and you're all in. That's what joy is. It's not an option for half measures. You know, when my son Heath, my youngest son, was about 2, we went to the pool, and the neighborhood I grew up in, we had a community pool, and we had tennis courts, and then a big field where we played softball, and we had a basketball court, and then a picnic pavilion. It's a beautiful community. And then I just bought a house 2 doors down from my mom and dad, and that's where I raised my boys, because it was a beautiful neighborhood. That's after we moved away from the farm and moved to town. And so I have my boys, and here I am, a young mom, and I've got 2 boys. I've got a 5-year-old, and I've got an almost 2-year-old, and a bunch of mom stuff, you know, going to the pool for the day. I've got all the floaties and all the things, you know, the big round things. I've got all the chairs and everything. So we go in the pool area, and then we're making our way over to the grassy area. So I get there and start putting out all the things and see Jared, and I go, Jared, where's your brother? Where's your brother? He said, I don't know. So I throw down the rest of my stuff, and I go retracing my steps to find him, get to the pool, and look at the pool, and he's sitting in the bottom of the pool. He's just sitting down there. And I went, whew. That day, I totally immersed myself in the 3-foot end. There wasn't no half measure, wasn't no getting in slowly. I jumped right in and brought him back up. And he was just happy as a clam. He was joyful. He was just sitting in the bottom of the pool, just enjoying, because I was too slow for him. I was doing my mom thing, getting everything all ready before we go to the pool, but he just went and got in on his own. And Mom hadn't taught him yet how to swim, so he's just sitting down there. But I know I've shared with you all before, there are two types of people in this world. There are the people that see miracles every day, everywhere, in everything. And then there are people that don't even believe miracles exist. They don't believe miracles exist. I'm going to expand upon that today and say when it comes to joy, there are also those two types of people. It's probably the same two people, that don't believe in miracles. They don't choose joy. Those people that believe in miracles, they choose joy. And you know why some people don't choose joy? They don't choose joy out of fear. Because everything's going along the way they would like it to. They have a loving family. They're afraid if they get too joyful, they're going to lose it. So they don't want to be too joyful because they don't want to lose it. Has anybody been there, done that? You don't want to jinx something. You don't want to be joyful about something that's about to happen because you don't want it to disappear, to poof and go away. But choose joy. Choose the experience of joy each and every moment. Knowing that moment is precious and being grateful for that moment. So there you are. That's why I said you can't have joy without gratitude. For it's in the being grateful for all that we have that we can expand and experience the joy of all we have. We can just be tickled pink that we have something, and we let all that goodness bubble up inside us. And joy is when we let it go and just let it overflow. We just let it come up and overflow out of us. So be grateful and be joyful for those ordinary moments. Those ordinary moments in life. Of seeing your spouse wake up. Of seeing your child get ready for school. Of seeing your friend walk in for coffee. Of seeing your pet nuzzle your hand for a pat. Be joyful in those ordinary moments because they are so precious. When we're towards the end of life, that's what we recall. Those ordinary moments of a smile. Those ordinary moments of joy. So go ahead and allow yourself permission. Allow yourself to choose joy each and every day. Those ordinary moments where we are so grateful. Those ordinary moments that fill our life with joy. We have everyday opportunities to be upset. And I said it last week when I said, you don't have to go to every fight you're invited to. You don't have to. You don't have to accept every opportunity life gives you to be upset. Because it happens. Stuff happens every day. Every darn day that stuff happens. And every single day you get to choose. So what are you choosing? We have no control over other people. And we have control over very few situations or things in our life. But we always have control over whether we react or we respond to something. When we react, something happens that could be an upset to our day. We can react to that in an emotional flurry, in anger, in fear. We can have what my daddy would call a knee-jerk reaction to that. Just, just like the doctor tapping you on the knee with that mallet and boom, you kick him in the chin. Because he didn't realize quite how long my leg was. He thought he was clear, but no, he wasn't. So you can react to something. Just react. Or you can take a breath. You can take a breath and choose to respond. And when we can make a habit of that, that's when we can make a habit of living in joy. Because frustration, worry, and hurt, they can come at us every day. Every day we'll have the opportunity to see something with that filter of frustration, of worry, or of hurt. Or we can choose joy. We can choose to be happy, choose to be joyful. In Psalms 30, it says, "Weep through the night, but joy cometh in the morning." Weep all you need to. Weep all you need to at night, but allow that joy to come in the morning. Because I'm going to choose joy every time. I'm going to choose joy every day. So don't give your joy away, especially over things we have no control over. So are you living a happy life? Are you living joyfully? Then notify your face. Yeah. All right, now that's what I'm talking about. Notify your face. Smile. Laugh. Notify your face. Yeah, I'm happy. Don't make people have to ask you, are you happy? I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. So create a joyful atmosphere around you, all around you, whatever you're doing. At home, at work, with your friends, with your family, even when you're all alone, when you're having your alone time. I read about a research project where they had studied laughter and the effects of laughter on people. And the researchers say that the children in the study laughed on average about 150 times a day. Isn't that amazing? 150 times a day the children laughed about nothing or about something. Kids can laugh. They can just laugh over nothing. And the adults, come on now, what do you think? What do you think the researcher said? On average, how many times do you think the adults laugh a day? Yeah, 3. See, I think we're a bit more joyful than the people in that study group, than the control group in that study group. But 3 times. And I'm going to say that's just pitiful. That is just pitiful. Our childlike wonder, that child state, that's our true nature, how we were as children. So if it is our true nature to laugh 150 times a day, but as adults, we squelch that down to 3? I have an accounting degree, but I'm not going to do the math on what that percentage is. Terry, what is that percentage? But to go from 150 laughs a day to 3 laughs a day, I tell you, it's just pitiful. It's just pitiful. So I want you to take a moment right now and check yourself. How many times did you laugh yesterday? See? How many times did you laugh the day before? How many times did you laugh last week? I'm going to tell you, in that women's retreat we did on Friday, and if you didn't come, you missed out. So we're going to do another one in the spring, so y'all got to come to that, because it was fabulous. And Ron came out and joined us for this. So it wasn't just women, and the big one that we're going to do in the spring is going to be men and women. But so we had a big belly laugh. We had a big belly laugh, and it just was fabulous and amazing to experience that with everyone. Yeah. So laughter is healing. When you shift from crying to laughter, healing takes place. There's a balance and a harmony in the natural world, in the natural laws. And that balance and that harmony are our world. Live in that balance. For there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life right now. I want y'all to say that with me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life right now. That's a science of mind teaching right there. There is only one life. That life is God's life. And that life is my life right now. I'm going to choose a joyful life. If I get to choose, why wouldn't I choose to be joyful? So laugh on a daily basis. Let's bring that average up. Laugh with your lover. Laugh with your parent. Laugh with your child. Laugh with your friends. And as Mark Twain said, to get the full value of joy, you need to have someone to divide it with. So divide it with the person right next to you right now. Divide that joy. And you both have more. It's not that either of you has less. You both have more. When you share joy, you divide the joy. There's more of it. Isn't that amazing? Because that's how we live. We manifest to us all our good, all God's good. Don't let yourself become a member of the GOP. Now, I'm not getting political with you. No, I'm not. No. That's where you went. I didn't go there. I'm not getting political. I'm saying don't be a grumpy old person. Don't be a grumpy old person. It'll make you look old. It'll make you look old before your time. We're all still young inside. Let that show by living in joy. You know, when I was about 17 or 18 and I was in college, and I didn't go far. I went to East Tennessee State University, just down the road from home. Wednesday was my light day. I had an 8:30 a.m. class, and then I didn't have anything else until track practice. So Wednesday was the day if Mom needed anything, I could just zip right home because it's just 30 minutes. You know, I could zip home. And so Mom had called me and said, "Hey, tomorrow will you come and take Mama to the grocery store?" And I said, "Sure." So as soon as my 8:30 class was over, I ran to Kingsport and got my grandmother, went up the holler. She lived up Tranbarger Holler. Do y'all know what a holler is? Yeah. She lived up the holler, so I went up the holler and got my memo and took her to the Kroger. Yeah. So I'm doing a commercial for Kroger. Yeah. That's the grocery store she preferred. Yeah. So I took her to the Kroger. We got the groceries. And, you know, that's when they put them in the brown paper bags, as before the days of plastic bags. And we had a bag boy. He was putting the groceries in. So I was kind of supervising a little bit, making sure he was making a lightweight bag for Mama to carry, because knowing my Mama, she ain't going to let me carry all the groceries out. No, she wasn't. She had to have some. So Mama picked up her bag that was not so heavy to carry out. The young man said, "Can I help y'all out?" I said, "I think we got it." And Mama said, "No, thank you." So he holds the doors open for us. We go out. I'm getting in the car, loading the groceries in the car, and I open the door up for my Mama. And she said, "Well, Kimmy, I'm old." I said, "What are you talking about, Mama? You are not old." And she said, "Yes, I am." She said, "But you know how I know I'm old?" I said, "What? How, Mama?" And she said, "Inside, I still feel like that 15-year-old girl that married your papa. Inside, I still feel like that person. But people treat me like I'm an old woman. They want to carry my groceries for me. They want to hold the doors open for me." I said, "Mama, they're just being nice. They're just being nice to you." And she said, "No, people treat me like I'm an old woman, so I must be old." Don't let people take your joy. Mama was letting them take her joy, and I've always remembered that lesson from Mama, that even though she was 80, she still felt inside like she was that 15-year-old girl. And don't let people steal your joy. Don't let them steal your joy. No. We're all still young inside. So I want you to set an intention to not let anybody take your joy. Because if you're not intentional, if you're not mindful, you'll find yourself getting old. Thinking old thoughts, looking old. I'm not going to. Aging tip alert. See? You didn't know you were coming to Sunday for that. I just gave you an aging tip alert. Smile. Be joyful. It'll make you younger. It'll make you look younger. It'll make you look younger. Stay young by having those new thoughts. See? New thought, it'll keep you young. You think those new thoughts, we stay up in those higher vibrational frequencies. We use those high vibrational words like joy and love and gratitude, thanksgiving, thankful. We stay up in that high vibration and love, the highest vibration of all. We stay up in that love. And we'll be the youngest, most vibrant spiritual community in the country. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And if you don't have joy, in your life, you're living in fear of losing your happy, losing your joy. You're living disconnected from source. If you're living that way, you're living disconnected from source. If you're living in stress, if you're living in worry, if you're living in fear, you have separated yourself from source. In Psalm 16, it says, "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." In your presence there is fullness of joy. Allow that presence to be present in your life. For God is right there within you. You know, stress and inflammation are the root of almost all illnesses. But the healing power to combat that is laughter, love, and joy. So if we can bring that healing power of joy in and connect to source energy, we can shift our energy. Laughter shifts our energy into joy. And when we are in joy, we are in full alignment with source. It's that wonderful feeling of amazement when you look upon the face of a beloved one, when you peer into the face of a newborn baby. That is joy. That is full and true alignment with source. In closing, I want to say, stay in your joy. That's your job, to choose joy. To be present in each moment and know you have the choice to choose joy. Let joy be your intention until the end of this year. You know, some of those researchers, they say it takes 21 days to start a new habit. It's exactly 21 days until our burning bowl service. Exactly 21 days from today is our burning bowl service. So I want you to have a shift in attitude. If you're not in joy, I want you to get in joy. 21 days to create something new in your life, a joyful outlook. I want you to stay on your high road. Stay in your joy. Choose joy. Don't be fearful of losing what you have. Don't be fearful of losing those happy thoughts you shared. Because you're sharing those happy thoughts created more joy. We divided it. When you shared your happy thoughts this morning, you divided the joy with all of us in the room and created more joy. Because even if you didn't share a happy thought, you felt joy from hearing a happy thought, didn't you? Yes. So don't give your joy to others. There will be those who try to take your joy. But that's their problem, not yours. It's not your business. It's not your business. Because there'll always be small-minded people who try to take your joy, who try to discredit you, but you don't have to participate. You don't have to take up that invitation. No. Don't be baited with those conflicts. Don't accept those invitations. Stay in your joy by staying in gratitude and staying in love. Send them on their way, those small-minded people. Send them on their way with love. Send them on their way with lots of love. That's your job. That's your assignment, to stay in your joy. Be who you are meant to be. Be who God puts you here to be. And you'll be in your joy. So I'm going to expect to see your best young faces. Young faces and big smiles from now until the burning bowl. Then, you know what? It'll be a habit. Then it'll be automatic. You will have trained your mind to be in the joy. And fear and anger, anxiousness won't even be part of your daily makeup, because you will have changed your attitude to joy. And you know, I usually like to end with that same quote I opened up with, because sometimes it falls on your ears a little differently. You hear it a little differently. So joy does not simply happen to us. We have to choose joy and keep choosing it every day. And remember, no matter how you may weep through the night, joy cometh in the morning. And so it is.